Good morning. For several days now, Don, Gardner, and myself have been trying to put together a film of our trip out west. We both departed home around the 1st of May, 1994. Bob and Mary Wagner joined us. We met in Nashville, Tennessee. We traveled together until we got to pretty far out west. This is segment 3 of 4 segments of film, and we pick it up while Don and Margaret and I were in Don's truck taking pictures of the gambling strip in Las Vegas. A small portion of that trip is on this film, the remainder of it is on the segment 2. This film covers those scenes in Las Vegas and then our trip up to the entrance to Bryce Canyon. We drove together up to Cedar City, then we went across through the Dixie National Forest over a range of mountains that reached as high as 12,000 feet in elevation, and dropped down into a valley right at the entrance to Bryce's Canyon. Spent the night in a campground called Riverside Campground. This was on the 23rd of May. Jean became quite ill, and this is where we took her to the hospital. This film will cover the remainder of the trip that Jean and I had, her time in the hospital in Pankwitch, and then our trip home. There's a brief segment of where we met the Gardners in Des Moines, and then on down to our home. And then it will pick up Don and Margaret visiting the Bryce Canyon, and then their trip up to Provo, Utah, where they met with the Gardners again. With the Wagners, excuse me. They met with the Wagners again. And I think they parted at that time. The Wagners went their way, and the Gardners proceeded on to Idaho Falls, the area of the Grand Tetons, that's Lake Jackson and Jackson Hole. And then they traveled through Yellowstone to Cody, visited the museum with Wild Bill Hickok, Buffalo Bill Museum, I guess it was called, the Rapid City, Spearfish, Devil's Tower, and then Crazy Horse at Mount Rushmore. And then it proceeds with their trip through the Badlands to Sioux City, and then their trip ends, the filming of their trip ends in Des Moines, where we spent one night together. I hope you enjoy the film, and I know it's kind of chopped up, and this is certainly the wrong place for this segment of it. But it's been a lot of hard work, and I think Don will attest to that with me. Thank you for your patience and time, and we hope you enjoy the film.
Now, this is the Mirage, and this is the waterfalls.
Over on the left, George.
What's on the left? Okay, I'm taking on the left now. But I wanted to picture, there they are. The waterfalls, aren't those beautiful? Yeah. There.
Here's Caesar's Palace we're coming up on.
Oh, yeah. Caesar's Palace. Let me focus in on that real.
There's Ray Charles, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, here's another Caesar's Palace down here. Oh, this is all Caesar's Palace. This is all Caesar's Palace. This is Caesar's Palace. My goodness.
Truck camper went in there. Natalie Cole.
Here's the castle, I guess.
This is the gate to Caesar's Palace. I tell you what now, they really knocked themselves out to do things up big time. To put the window down. Oh, and then he jerked the truck. Let me see if I can go to wide angle. I'm recording now. This is the entrance to Teton. What have you over street people. I know.
There's valleys
There's valleys. Won't be
or
tough.
varying shades.
I want you to know that we've been driving by Caesar's Palace for about 10 minutes and we're still seeing parts of it. I get pictures of the horse with the Don like horse. That's Julius Caesar. Now I'm taking pictures of Valley Sign. I'm going to zoom in on top of it there to show you men doing
Putting the marquee up.
putting the marquee up. I don't know how well that'll show up. There's a Aladdin over on my left, and the dunes is on my right, because I've been corrected. I'm getting.
There's the Lucky Ducky Liquors on the right-hand side.
There's Polo Towers. Where is Lucky Ducky
Right
Liquors?
beside it, on your right.
Oh, there. Lucky Ducky Liquors. And I'm trying to get it all. The boardwalk. There's MGM. And I'm gonna zoom in on the MGM if that bus will get out of the
Large
way.
eggs, $1.29, Royal Flush.
I'm trying to get the MGM sign.
$2.50.
There it is. There's the MGM sign. Whoa, whoop, and now here's the MGM building, and it is a fancy thing. Oh boy. Look at that. Isn't that nice?
Look over on the right.
Uh-oh, I gotta go to the right. Let me go wide angle again. Oh, I got a castle over here. I'll zoom in on that.
Oh.
Every time I want to take a picture of something, there's a billboard.
With a message on.
GM entrance over there. Isn't that fancy? But I'm taking it through traffic, a mirror, a windshield, a fire hydrant. I don't know what all. Taking pictures down of the castle. I don't know what to call this place. Oh, whoop. That's called road repair. Castle. I'll tell you what. Take a picture. All right. There you go. Oh, for the death penalty for this is the high other side of the street down. There's the Luxor Monument down there, see it? On north on Interstate 15 out of Las Vegas, headed for Salt Lake City. And John and Margaret in front of us, I keep getting closer to them, trying to take pictures and drive with it. We're still in northern, moving north through Nevada. These mountains, it's just plain barren. Man, the mountains are so pretty. I want to get a picture. Off to our left now, we're approaching They're just past us. Just absolutely beautiful. Elevation 2,000 feet right here. Big bluff in front. Jean's sitting over there. She won't do anything but tell me to watch it.
Well, you don't need to be taking pictures.
Well, I want the pictures.
Well, then watch it.
We're in a rest area in Arizona now. We just come through those canyons, but these are rock pictures. Beautiful red stone. Swinging on around. Got the sunrise on the way. We're going into, we're on the way from Cedarville, Utah, into toward Bryce Canyon. It's the 23rd of May, and we're on Route 14 going over into Bryce's Canyon, and I'm going to tell the photo down, but you can see snow, skips of snow still on the ground. Down there.
Over to 89. And we're up high enough that these trees haven't started to bud out yet. And at various places you look down on the snow, especially in the shaded areas or the gullies and all, or the flats where the pine trees have shaded them.
The edge of the side, we come across, you'll be able to see. This is the Zion Overlook, and I'm trying to get this sign so we can read it. I'm going to close in on it, and we'll read it a little bit at a time. Just a beautiful view. Now this is saying this back is going on. Oh, car, I thought that battery was charged. The lake's still partially frozen over, even though the original lake was formed when lava flowed across the east end of the valley. After thousands of years, the lake still has no open outlet. Water leaves the valley through a series of sinkholes and reappears at Cascade Falls and Duck Creek. Cascade Falls flows into the Virgin River. Part of the Colorado River basin, Duck Creek feeds into the Sevier River, which is a part of the Great Basin. The dike across the lake was constructed in 1931 to provide adequate water for fisheries and water-related recreation.
You might add that the Virgin cut is what we passed through earlier. And George took pictures of it.
Yeah, but it'll take, I have to order it.
I like that camera. Someday, I got a good camera last year, an Alta. Get the one.
What?
Ed's trying to figure out how to
This
work the
is,
camera.
oh, I got it going. This is Jean and Mark in the hospital room. Old sister, she just told me that she'd lost 17 pounds. That's good. Mark flew in last night from Bozeman, Montana.
No, he might have been there. They just got there, and I actually told them.
The plane was touching the ground when we drove in the parking lot.
Perfect. I said 8:50 to 9 o'clock when I got there, so it was like 10 minutes.
This is the nurse's station in the hospital. I just pan around. You can hear Mark and Mother in the background. This is a hospital in Pangushi where Mom has been. Let's see if I can zoom in on the name of the hospital. Garfield Memorial Hospital, a member of Intermountain Healthcare Incorporated. This is the town of Pangushi. Where Jean has been in the hospital for the last 7 days.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
I can.
take a picture. I just did it here.
You like this better?
This is where I've been doing my grocery shopping. Mark and I are up here now to buy some bread.
You gotta get me pictures.
Mark rollerblades.
Cut. This is my father getting ready to pull out of the RV park in Panguitch, Utah. Getting ready to go to the hospital.
Do is press this button, and you know, you can do it any way you want, but we're getting her picture now. Now I can turn right here and I can get your picture, big picture of you. And it's got wide angle and telephoto lens.
I have never seen a camera like that. That's a neat one.
These are new. This is the Red Canyon. We're coming down out of the mountains near Provo, Utah. Now on our way home. This is the second day of June. Gene's sitting in the back and on oxygen, and I'm trying to drive and take it of Salt Lake City. Just south of Salt Lake City. And I'm in Kentucky going out of Salt Lake City. This is a view area at 6,000 feet. Gene's doing real well right now. This is pretty scenery, very mountainous. But we're going to make it. There's our motorhome. Up here on the view area. See above it, mountains are all around us. We're getting pretty close to the Wyoming state line now. This is just a pretty rock formation. We're at a rest stop in Utah still. Navigating the Port of Memphis. And I would think we're right at the Wyoming state line. We just come out of Utah. We're in the Wyoming now. Getting Getting into Eastern Kansas now. We're about oh, she moved. She's away. At Fort Riley, Kansas. Looks comfortable, does it? You're not even going to wave to us? There she waves. See? Claudia, I told you she was fine. This is the ICU clinic, and there's the nurse, and there's the, these are the people that's been taking care of her. Aren't they nice people? I walk down to where they are. See? See how busy they stay? Taking care of Jean. I'm taking any pictures. This is all Red Canyon. It's all very beautiful. This is a Red Canyon. I'm at a state park outside of Fort Riley, Kansas. If you can look at the trees, you see that cedar tree. The dark top of it is a light tan, and then it's dark. That's how high the water was here this past year during the flood. I think I have a better one over here. You see the brown is the high water mark, and then it turns green going on up. The lady told me that for several months this entire area was flooded by the rising waters from this lake. Graves here from the mid to late 1800s. It is well kept. A beautiful cemetery.
White looking particularly.
Yeah.
Taking the picture. Taking a picture of the motorhome now. I wanted to get a picture of your house.
Now I'm going to shut the garage door if you're taking a picture of the house.
He's taking a picture of Don, taking a picture of George.
Let me take the picture.
Stick your head out again, Mark. There you go. I got you. Look like a regular movie star. Maureen and Fred's house. Don's going to close the garage doors. Maureen was so afraid that I got to get a picture of Don's new truck.
He's probably got a number. He's got a deal on it someplace.
There's your house, a better angle. And I hate to tell anybody, but I want everybody to hear it. I'm going to go over and get my motorhome.
So we go then from
Pick up a tank of oxygen and solid garden. We got in about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and we left as soon as we got the oxygen the next morning. As we approached the bridge here, I'll try to see if this is in fact the Mississippi River. Illinois, near the Indiana state line. It's a beautiful campground, but there's not much here. This is our house in Madisonville, where we live. Oh, all the trees are there. This is across the street where your children used to play. And this is looking down the street. That's the page, the pictures. That means
Is what we passed through earlier. And George took pictures of it. Oh, just sitting here, taking a picture over towards the Bryce's Canyon. Way. From the campground. Just got set up. Haven't been in, washed my hands yet. We'll drive over the mountain. 15. Can't remember the town we turned on. Cedarville. Came out of Cedarville. Over the mountain. Through volcanic lava flows, snowfields, a frozen lake. It's all there on it. In Red Canyon on the way to Bryce. Here's a couple of natural bridges over the roadway. This is the inspector. Get the truck to the front of this truck. There is only about 100 yards, maybe 120. Love Point, Bryce's Canyon. As we came up here this morning, the sun was bright. Shiny. Sort of warm things up. Without it, it's a little cool. Sitting there, you can hear them squawking all around here. I guess they get fed pretty regular. Dangerous cliff. Over there somewhere at that point. Canyonville, 3 miles down the grottos probably began. There's the wall windows on the far wall of the canyon. Castle down below. Whole series of them. Ebenezer Bryce built his cabin and his canals to carry the water down into Cannonville. Get through this Mesquite fusion. What's fascinating is how the sun shining on them, or the shadows casting out, changing the entire looks. Of course, we're on the rim of these canyons. You can see ponderosa pine, Indian pine, mesquite bushes. I think Mark's ready to go back. I've asked a lot over. She said she's for a riverside campground. We're out here getting ready for the sea. It's laid out in this nice alpine valley near Bryce Canyon. We see the mountains. You cross over to get to, or through Red Canyon and get to Bryce Canyon. So the campground itself, if it was laid out someplace else, would just not be out of the ordinary. Plenty of room, gravel driveways, horseshoe pit, badminton, restaurant up on the hill, but with the people in the way, and the friendliness and the cooperation with George and Jean under difficult circumstances. They have to be given that kind of commendation. Back up on the hill towards the motel. Up to Utah. Nice, huh? That's what it looks like from here. Actually, it's the worst campground we've been in so far, as I'm concerned. It's not kept up. I believe everybody works another job, and this is something they just do. Rake in as much money as they can. Forget about it. There's Robert over there. I think he's ready to go. Willard Dam and Bay. Camping, boating, fishing. Just about anything you want around water dam and reservoir. Around us here. Always see little specks of snow. Sometimes rock. Tourist center stopped to have lunch in Idaho. Not much change in terrain. Real nice looking visitor center. Haven't been in yet. Still have the wide valleys and the high mountains. Here at right outside of Idaho Falls, and we're parked at Idaho Falls. Bob and Mary are going to continue on up to Glacier Park. We're going over to the Grand Tetons, and we may cross again somewhere. They want to be sure to get back to Colorado. Time's getting short, and Gene hopes to be out of the hospital, and you'll meet Bob and Gene at Mark's place in Bozeman, Montana. Shaped for a visitor center. I'm going up on the observation deck. You can see a trail getting on up to a little higher feet. The mountains and the valleys in the background. Bob and Mary left about 5 minutes ago. Here, one of the mountain peaks had snow on it. Couldn't find it. I'm still up on it. And leave. The land has changed around. You'll see sage and pinyon, mesquite, and pinyon pine. And this is all we see. Even the cornfields of Iowa or Illinois doesn't come close to the land mass in this valley, as far as I'm concerned. The main reason I stopped, though, I just had to take a picture of the mountains over there. We've been seeing them ever since we left 15 in the visitor center. As far as I can see, to the right from this position and to the left are the Teton Mountains. The Grand Tetons, I think, are right there. I think those are the ones that we have that picture. I believe Cecil gave it to us. Some now. See more cattle. Actually, this is the first that we've seen of cattle, but there's more growth trees and a river down here, and then we're still looking at those mountains. We're closer. It's unbelievable. It's been cutting off, and I wanted to make sure it was all the way down. I got to go back to this. I think this is the part that they take the pictures. And paintings and artists all work from. Got a cloud bank above the mountains that make grade. We can't go much higher. As a matter of fact, we aren't going much higher. This is where you stop to check your brakes before you proceed down. Five and a half miles, 10% grade. The Teton National Forest. Beautiful. It's a little higher way. Mark's making a phone call to George. To Grand Teton, through the gates of Grand Teton National Park. Camped in Grand Teton National Park. Culver. Expect to be here for in and around here, Yellowstone, wherever. But well, it's about 7:15 in the morning. I think it's Thursday, May 26th. We're looking part of the Grand Teton. 100 feet, 150 feet from our campground. You can't see them too. Walk down back of the ranger station, and here we have a nice lake. In this lake, big pressure there. Willow flats. On this flat, willows and marsh grasses. Abundant wildlife, including ice shrews, bows, muskrat, beaver, and the largest member of the deer family, the moose. In summer, moose cows with calves browse on the willows that grow to 15 feet in the willow habitat that supports as many as 40 moose per square mile. There's a yellow-headed blackbird I wanted to get a picture of. When I came up, killdeer, cliff swallows, sandhill crane, common teal, and snipe. I'm not eating at least disturbed. Here, Egg Express Peak. Bivouac Peak. Homestead. The acres expanded to 560. Raised mainly cattle and horses. Later was postmaster and held official positions of some type. Log metal notch type. There's quite a history of notching of these cabins. Lines that are the cross members for the cabin. There's a lot of activity in this area. Outbuildings. There's a little ground, or prairie. There's a bunch of magpies flitting around over there. I guess it might be the mating season. There's about 35 to 40 horses in this fenced-in area. I don't know how long the fences are, but from this corner to where I took the last pictures, there's a good 200 yards. Really not much you can say about the mountains. I know the pictures won't do it justice, and certainly my words. Horses, you can see the river flowing. I believe that's a Snake River. There's a number of them through here in different names. Spring Creek. And the mountain peak. There is Mount Mower. Or Moran. Towards the cabin. Get an idea, perhaps. If it's chinked up, the mud's all falling out, or most of it is falling out. But it could be pretty warm in here. With all this beauty in the midst of a tourist city, it's hard to visualize. Of course, harsh life. A person would live here all year round. Plenty of water in this valley. Wintertime, I imagine you'd have to dig through ice or have some provisions. Even though this little stream is about 50 feet from the cabin. I don't think it would flow fast enough to keep from freezing in the wintertime. When I started taking these pictures, I backed up and stepped in a prairie dog hole, or and fell down. I was here by myself right then, and I thought, boy, suppose I'd have broken my leg. vehicles in the Snake River as it winds around. About 2 miles up the road, I pulled back in the cutoff, and at one point it recommended nothing but four-wheel drive vehicles, so I turned around and came back. I think Dead Man's Rapids was the name of it, and they were very emphatic that if you had limited knowledge of boats and canoes, black and white is hard to tell. There's some kind of a yellow bunch of flowers down there. Looks like it could be black-eyed Susans. And of course, as I come down this valley from the campgrounds, it's dominated by the Teton Range. The Shoshone called the Teton Range Tiwina, meaning many pinnacles. Other Americans called the snow-capped peaks the Hoary Fathers. Naming the ridges explorers referred to the Tetons as pallet knobs. Guiding their expeditions on a clear day, the Tetons are visible from 150 miles in every direction. Canadian fur trappers approaching the Tetons, the Three Breasts, named the range itself. The three separate peaks, the Grand Teton, the Middle Teton, and the South Teton, bear this name. I guess you could leave it up to the French for that. We're right in the middle of the Greater Yellowstone ecosystem. And it allows the existence, undisturbed, of many of the animals and birds that were once plentiful. I saw a herd of buffalo. I couldn't find a place to stop. I'm going to try to get them on the way back up. Teton Range, young and restless, and still rising. These mountains are energetic teenagers and actively growing, sculptured by erosion. 9 million years ago, the Earth's crust broke into two rectangular blocks along the Teton fault, a 40-mile-long zone of weakness. Through the sporadic movements of the range, while the eastern block tilted downward to form the valley called Jackson Hole. The valley sank 4 times more than the mountains rose. The displacement continues, and an earthquake-producing movement along the fault can occur at any time. This lush, tree-bound river, as it flows through here, you can see how much it dropped by the terraces from the other side. Episcopal Chapel of the Transfiguration, with the Tetons in the background. And a bucket rail fence. Inside the church, looks like there's 7 pews on each side. And the altar with a large window, which seems very fitting, facing it. I think this is about as close as we're going to get. Jenny Lake. Running water initially cut V-shaped canyons through the range. Mountain glaciers filled these canyons. Rocks of all sizes falling into and plucked up by these glaciers enhanced their grinding power. The broad U-shaped of the Cascade Canyon typifies the reshaping force of the masses of ice flowing through. Upon leaving the mountain confines, the most recent mountain glaciers spread onto the and pressed deeply into the valley floor where flow equaled. Melting, the glacier acted like a giant conveyor belt, forming glacier moraines by depositing rock material on its sides and front. And when the glacier retreated, the melt waters filled the depressions surrounding the marina ridges to form Jenny Lake, more than 200 feet deep. Jenny Lake is one in a chain of similar glacier lakes at the base of the range. Hear the thunder in the distance. Antelope grazing about 300 yards out. Glacier. See the burned out area a number of years ago. We had a pretty bad fire in here. I'm standing right underneath a big black cloud. And I think it's about to pour again. You see very often. That's rain over there at the foot of that mountain. It's like a great big heavy, gray, slopping wet towel, dirty towel. And the clouds are stretching out of it, dark patches of it. There's heavier rainfall. I can feel the breeze from it here, blowing this direction. The sun was shining overhead at about 11 o'clock. In the rain, I had the windshield wipers on. It was coming down so hard I couldn't see it. The sea. And I think that's another shower. That's another shower I think it's passing through in the same general area that I was in. As close to the mountain Jenny Lake as I could get. Way I look down the line and I see another shower. It thunders occasionally. I haven't seen any lightning. Again, everywhere you look. Heavier over there in that one spot now. But they're all around us except where I am and behind. Buffalo grazing down here in the bottom. I saw them this morning when I went down the road early this afternoon. Looks like there's about 10 of them. Something else out there, I can't tell what it is. Good-sized herd of moose over there. I think they're moose. I'm pretty sure that's what they are. I'll get the glasses out and look after it too. You might be interested in the construction. Place used 2x12, 2x8 for trusses. Front of this lodge, got bears climbing up there. Lights are made of antlers. There's one sitting up on the corner of the log, another one peeking in a window. Down in Jackson, Wyoming, in the park. All 4 entrances have arches made of antlers. That bar over there, memorial in the center of the park dedicated to the veterans. Jackson, Teton County. Take notice of the sidewalks or boardwalks. National elk, Wapiti, Indian name for elk. Summer, a winter home. Down here in the mountains in October and go back around the 1st of May. Going over there, 2 or 4 horses in the corral, all got it. Guess we've got a storm coming down this pass. Here's the thunder. Here's the information of the many 7,000 elk winter in this national elk refuge. Teton campground. Saturday morning, headed toward Yellowstone, and then comes. We're hooked up, ready to go. I've got to pull forward far enough to get a block, and that's it. Visitor Center, Grand Teton National Park, Culver Bay. We're on our way out. Good to take another look at the Visitor Center. There's the visitor building. Under a crib. Canyon. So at first that they began to realize that forest fires are not always so devastating. The area across from it was burned over, and they learned from that the burned areas, along with the new and unburned areas, provided improved habitat. More sunlight for the plants to grow, at the same time leaving the forested area. Lewis Canyon. See the river down below. Devastation from the fire. With the snow-capped mountains in the background. All around us, the trees are a little snow down in the gulch. Of course, this was a 1988 fire. And they estimate that every 200 to 400 years, a fire of this magnitude occurs. And yet the animals and the vegetation survive. This tree right off to look at it. Vegetation spreading up the river. First, close-up picture of a buffalo on this trip, other than down there in Oklahoma. Horseshoe Blues.
That's for the buffalo.
Now, did you guys
这个刚刚好看没看见？
Really doesn't take too long.
Cool, not yet. Doesn't split over this way.
Gonna get you, Dad.
It's getting higher and higher.
Oh, no. What? 2,000 feet high.
It's so scary that there's... Boom!
Yeah,
Whoa!
Get so hot. Adam. Diner. Yabby, yabby. Hi. That's so faithful. That'd be funny. The bird and head right into it. If I'm in, and then all of a sudden you see a bird come out like a bird. No, golden eagle. A golden eagle. A golden eagle blown up. And goes down into there, all of a sudden it comes out and lands on it.
这样子啊？
太高了。Walk throughout over that one. When it explodes, then it goes out on the roof and you see the rain and all this water coming after it. It's not real hot.
看有多少人来这边看这个欧飞？ 好了，这就是欧飞佛。
And he lasted for about 4 minutes.
I'm getting a job with it, dude. What do you think?
Thoroughly burned all around here, both sides of the road. Crossing the road here, he doesn't care. He's going to stop and hold traffic up.
You're all right.
of them up there. This is the only one I can see, though. They're kicking up a storm. See the white caps on the lake? Yellowstone Lake. It's 8,500 feet high. Would like to stop earlier. Didn't have any of them through here before. I can't remember being this kind of a road. She said she does. They're working on this road. We're not too far from Cody. It's a mountain. This tunnel, I'll tell you what. Here's a stream from the Buffalo Bill Dam. River or whatever. Map. Everything here is either up or down. And this is sure up and down. This is the gorge where Buffalo Bill Museum was built. The road used to run alongside of this. Now is the old road, or the tunnel to the side of the mountain, and the old road ran down alongside. It's the oldest arch dam I know of in the world. Jackson. Seg3. Familiar with it all.
Good.
Indian Prayer. It's Fraser, known by Richard Greaves. Studio recreated. Done in each corner of the studio. Looking out over downtown Cody, Wyoming. The wind is blowing. You probably can't hear anything I'm saying. And the gorge where the Buffalo Bill Dam is located, where you come into Cody from Yellowstone. Rattlesnake Mountains in the background. I have no idea what that is down there. I think I'll run down and find it. Buffalo Bill Monument. I have pictures of it from before. Moved here from a Crow Reservation in Montana. Designed, built, and used as a studio while painting there. Inside of the same cabin. With his bench. Several portraits of Indians. strapped to the wheel. James vest, coat and trousers. Here at the underneath undercarriage. This one. Chain drive. Teton International. Go. Drive. That's your security system. Back to the Irma Hotel. North Fork Sheep Mountain to the right, Rattlesnake Mountain to the left, the Snake River going through that gorge ahead to the Buffalo Bill Dam, and this is a lake formed by the dam. Looking at it from the east side. Second time I've been here. Second time I won't get to see it. Not having a rodeo. Yeah, the wind's still blowing. Every evening it picks up. We're in a campground outside of Cody, Wyoming. Omen just got back from Petey Lodge where we had our dinner tonight. I spent most of the day Buffalo Bill Museum. I probably spent altogether 18 hours, 16, 18 hours. While the horses returned to the Big Horn Basin. want a wild horse, you can get one through the Adopt a Horse program. Bridger's Butte. And as near as I can get from a description of the trail, that's it right through there. Swing around, you can see the snow-capped mountains. There's the plain. Heard the rumble and the roar. I guess it's from that plane out there. Seems to be flying at eye level. Grazing all along here. Some pretty good sized herds. Maybe they all are just scattered out. Some of them are bunched up. The route that Bridger used was 510 miles long, needed to get freight through to Virginia City and the gold fields without using the Bozeman Trail, which the Indians had went through Indian territory. Airport here, military of some sort. I guess that's where that plane came from I saw a while ago. Some of these planes used to carry water to fight forest fires from the Royal Canadian Air Force Transport Command, right outside of Grey Bull. There's 11 of these. I think it's 11. Completely solar powered. Pretty good sized bird. These are right outside a piece of my own ranch. Doyle. Geological digs. They brought up the skeleton that was the Jurassic period. Bighorn Mountains, we're still going up. We're up near the top of the tree line now. Now you see
Red
it?
light's on, yeah.
It's the top of the mountains. We're still going up. Summit. Bighorn Mountains, Meadowlark Lake. Dam built down there someplace, but a CCC's in 1936. This is a monument to the, 37 firefighters lost their lives. Fighting a forest fire. They were fighting a fire in 1937, August 21st. And they were trapped. It's at the top of this mountain now. We're looking down at patches of snow. This is a ski area. Road from it. No trees, nothing but barren rock. I'm wrong. There's a little patch of trees. Powder River Pass, 9,966 feet, is the highest point on Highway 16 in the Bighorn National Forest. This elevation in harsh weather and shallow soil discourages growth of trees. The slopes of the pass are the fragile plants of the alpine tundra. Clinging to the thin rocky soil which provides just enough water and nutrients. The Bighorn Mountain Divide is the highest elevation backbone of the mountain range, which is the southern end in Wyoming and the northern end in Montana. The Bighorn Mountains serve as a major watershed and providing water to ranchers, farmers, and communities in valleys, and we can see a little hut on this damn top. Got that little pond back up in here. Provides water for smaller animals and birds. And fish on the larger ponds. I didn't think this was big enough. Maybe so. I don't know. I saw how far it backs down into this.
Up into Montana, 550 miles through the heart of Indian territory. It was located east of present-day KC and was originally established by General Patrick Connor and his command. It was a stockaded fort built right on the banks of the Powder River. From the fort location, the Pumpkin Buttes loomed to the east, landmarks for the passing travelers. To the north, Killdeer, Melwar, a lot of sheep in this country, very barren country. Attorney with little field soldiering experience was charged with this task. The government believing that the Indians were basically under control and not understanding very much about Indians in general. Carrington and his command, the ill-fated 18th Regiment, after rebuilding Fort Reno, set about the building of Fort Phil Kearny along the Little Piney near Story, Wyoming. From this fort, troops were dispatched to build Fort C.F. Smith near the Yellowtail Reservoir in what is now Montana. Fort Phil Kearny, as depicted in this model, was an object of intense hatred by many of the Sioux and Cheyenne. They perceived the fort as a profound threat to their land and their way of life. Daily attacks around the fort were a usual thing. The fort became a near prison, and life there became a struggle for... The story is retold in remnants of fort life. In the old photograph that come into play as one explored the area, Cheyenne warriors ambushed a woodcutting detail and got an unexpected surprise. lasted all that morning and on into the early afternoon before the Indians finally departed the area. The end result was 3 soldiers dead, 1 officer and 2 privates. But the Indians had suffered grievously. There were hundreds of them laying about this area. And the main reason why was in the weapons used. Up until the middle of July, the infantry had been armed with this weapon, which was a model 1863 Springfield muzzleloader. After that, they turned their muzzleloaders in and drew the model 66, which is a breech loader. These weapons appear to be very similar, but I'll demonstrate for you.
Fort Mill Pond, near Bozeman Trail, outside Buffalo, between Buffalo and Sheridan, Wyoming. Pilot Hill, picket post, overlooking Little Piney Creek valleys, the Bozeman Road, the Sullivan Ridge, with its wood road, was a constant man looked at from this post. The Seg3 signals to the news, important news of the events as they occurred. The wood detailed progress, what travelers fared, the Bozeman Trail, where and how a skirmish was developing, who was desperate for the need of reinforcements. Out here, all 81 men killed, including veterans, in the battle that lost most lives, second only to Custer's last stand. Plus a few others who were stationed here to report was active for approximately 2 years. And the Bozeman Trail, for which it was built, along with 2 other forts,